But when you do what's right, and it's based off of that effort that you put in, then you feel good about it because you took care of your responsibilities. Then you can go play. Can't do the playing before any of that stuff.
Right.
If I never try, if I don't go for this, where's that gonna leave me? Don't be scared to bet on yourself. You're going to be scared anyway, because it is scary. But at the same time, betting on yourself isn't always leaving. Betting on yourself is believing in you, knowing who you are, what you're worth, having an idea about it anyway, and willing to work towards that, to validate that reality. That's betting on yourself. Whatever decision emanates from that is based off of you looking at you and saying, I'm going for it. When you don't do that, what you have done is refrain from challenging yourself to be all you could be. You should be scared if you're clueless. You should be scared if you're ignorant to what you want to do, why you want to do it, and how you intend to go about achieving whatever aspirations you may have. If you're going to overcome that fear at some point, knowledge is a part of the equation. What is winning? I challenge any human being alive. And if you can't do it, you scratch, claw, and even die trying. It was about striving to do whatever you could to be the best that you can be. That is what I believe makes me the best. It's my commitment to excellence for the collective whole. I believe I'm the best there is. I ain't apologizing for it to anybody. You know, Denzel Washington talks about consistency, the importance of consistency. You got to put in the work, you got to go for it. But you have to have consistency. Because without consistency and putting in the work, the dream is nothing but a dream.
Right.
And I get all of that. But you have to be able to look at yourself. And you have to be able to be honest with yourself and know when you mess up. Because when you mess up, it's gonna catch you. What I mean when I say it's gonna catch you is, at some point, you're gonna look at you and you're gonna say, I didn't try. I didn't go for it. But I often tell people this, particularly when it comes to relationships. Relationships come and go. Things don't work out sometimes. But there is nothing on earth worse than when you know you're the reason it messed up. See, if somebody mistreats you, if somebody that you love don't want you no more, but you wanted them and you treated them right and blah, 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 but it didn't work out, it hurts. But you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Most people will be fine. When you're not fine is when you know it was you.
You messed up.
You messed up.
You heard that.
Everybody you've run across has had apprehension about who they are, where they're going, etc. But really, the most important thing, it requires like a literal look in the mirror. Asking yourself how you will feel if you never try. Because there's no one that could become all they could be without looking at themselves.
Absolutely. What is your definition of greatness?
My definition of greatness: sustained excellence. Anybody could be great for a moment. Anybody could have their moment in the sun. But who you truly, truly are at a particular craft is whatever is done over a sustained period of time. To me, First Take being number one is not what I'm proud of. I'm proud of the fact that it's been 11 years straight. That's what I'm proud of. And the fact that I was able to do that at a continuous level, that means I had to put my head down and just be about the business and do the work. I'm brilliant because I know I'm not. I steal from those who are. And I learn from them. And I disseminate that level of brilliance that I got from other people, always giving them credit, number one. Number two, here's the biggest thing. I think I'm the best because I think about the company. How can I help? How can I make my bosses more money? How can I get some of it? That mentality
That's a game changer.
is what makes me the best.
That's a game changer.
Because what I'm saying is, I'm not saying I'm the best because I articulate myself on television better than anybody else. Even though I think I work as hard as anybody, but I work more than anybody.
Yeah.
Or that I got, even though I've been number one for 11 years in morning television, pardon the interruption, is number one on ESPN, not me. I'm not those guys. They're the institution. You see what I'm saying? I understand who I am. But what I'm saying is that you show me what winning is for the brand, and I'm going to bust my butt to go and get it for you. I've shown I'm trustworthy, that you can trust that I'm going to be at the top, or I'm going to go down swinging. But there is never a moment that I'm on the air that I don't think about what they want. And a lot of times, it's just like a musician. If you Jay-Z, you running Rock Nation, you're a billionaire, blah, blah, blah. Do you make music just for yourself, or do you think about what the audience would want?
If everyone could take this in and realize it's about the win-win. When I was playing high school ball as a freshman, trying to make the varsity.
Right.
And I wasn't as good yet, but I was tall, so they put me in there, right?
Right.
I would listen to the coach and say, and complaining about some of the starters who weren't hustling. He said, we need more hustle. I need you guys diving for balls, jumping out of bounds. And I was just like, I'm gonna be the hustle guy. I'm gonna do what he needs, what he wants, so I can play. And try to help him win. And that got me on the team. It's like working for a company. It's like, if you can help the company make more money and show them that, they're gonna want to continue to support your growth. The win-win. So this is, for me, that's brilliant. And I don't think a lot of people probably think you think that way.
They don't. Because if I wasn't interested in making a difference, if I wasn't interested in impacting the lives of others in a positive fashion, they would have not been interested in giving me the time of day. I had to be interested in something greater than myself to get their interest to elevating me. Being as excellent as I could possibly be on a day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out basis.
I get it. The pain is unbearable. You keep playing it back in your head. Over and over and over, you keep trying to see where you went wrong. The situation is on repeat.
People are going to talk anyway. So you may as well do what makes you happy.
And now some people are gonna call you a loser. Some people are gonna make fun of you for failing. Some people are going to count you out. Say you will never amount to anything. Call you weak. What you gonna do? Are you gonna prove them right? Or are you gonna prove them wrong? Let them think you're weak.
Stop going back and forth with people who don't deserve your time or your attention. If you have been announcing your plans, do me a favor. Stop talking and start showing. No need for you to say what you're going to do. Just do it. I learned the hard way that everyone who is around me is not for me, because everyone doesn't want the best for me. And so I had to learn to keep things to myself until I have already done the work.
Are you gonna show them that failure doesn't define who you are? Are you gonna show them that failure is a necessary lesson on the path to success? Are you gonna show them that you're a beast in this game? What you gonna do? You gotta get hungry. You gotta get ready. It's time to get to work and show them all. Show them you're a different animal. Let them talk.
When you're on a mission, you don't have time to be fighting meaningless battles. You have to be focused. You have to be intentional. And you can't allow the noise outside to get to you.
I get it. You did everything in your power and you still came up short. And you feel like you can't take the pain anymore. You did everything you could and you still failed. You didn't win, but that's okay. It's okay you didn't walk away with the trophy. It's okay that you didn't walk away with your head held high. I get it. It happens. That's life. What do you want to be remembered for? It's time to get to work.
So take a moment and take note of who and what you've been giving your energy to. Everything you do should be on purpose and aligned with your life's goals. It's your mindset that will get you to the top, but your mindset can also keep you in a cycle of starting but never finishing. If you're not careful, you will find yourself talking, planning, and analyzing, but never executing.
It's time to get back in the game. Pick your head up. Get up! Let them talk. Let them think you're weak. Let them think you'll never succeed. Their thoughts do not define you. That failure doesn't define you. Your work ethic does. Your drive does. Your tenacity does. Your relentlessness does.
Winners are action takers. Winners take a hit and get back up. You don't have to know exactly how you're going to get what you want. You just have to have an inner knowing that you're going to do it, that you're going to make it, that you're going to cross the finish line. So stop talking about who you want to become and become that person now. Do you realize that you can step into your future self right now? You don't have to procrastinate. You don't have to wait until you feel like everything is lining up perfectly. Growth is supposed to be uncomfortable. So stop looking for comfort.
Stand up. I know it's scary. I know it's intimidating. I know it's hard, but it's time. It's time to level up. It's time to choose to be great. Time to choose to be better. Let's go. It's time to win.
I can recall saying time after time, why is everything so hard for me? From the outside looking in, it looked like everyone else was winning with ease. But I was bruised, I was broken, I was burned out. But I had it all wrong. I made my journey difficult because without even realizing it, I expected my journey to be difficult. In fact, when something came easy for me, I was nervous. I was nervous because I was not accustomed to winning so easily. I was accustomed to struggling. I was accustomed to being stressed out. And I'm not saying that you won't hit some difficult moments, but I am saying that you shouldn't commit to having a difficult life. You have to condition your mind to expect your situation to get better. And you have to remind yourself that those who are winning are no different from you. Those Those who win, those who go hard, those who crush their goals have no problem focusing on themselves and what they want. Many of us have been conditioned to put ourselves last. Many of us have been taught that it's our duty to make everyone around us happy. And what happens is you get so wrapped up in trying to make everyone around you happy and comfortable that you end up losing yourself. You end up losing your vision. You lose your drive. You lose your why. And guess what? That is not fair to you. You deserve to set aside time for yourself. You deserve to be able to say no and not feel guilty about it. You deserve to be selfish sometimes. This is the thing. People will sing your praises until you tell them no. Don't lose yourself trying to be who everyone else wants you to be. Don't lose your focus. Don't stop going hard just because people have something to say about it. If you continue to put yourself on the back burner, you will have to deal with the consequences of that decision. Don't keep saying you want something, but then when it's time to go after it, you've got excuse after excuse. If you want it, you have to go after it with all you've got. Your job is to show up, put in the work, and let your results speak for you. Less talking, more results.
While the rest of the world is sleeping, you are wide awake. And you are on the attack for your success.
It doesn't start with them and they. It starts with me. So I'm just wondering when you're gonna make it personal.
Are you really prepared to grind it out?
Everybody wants public authority, but nobody wants private discipline. When your habits change behind the scenes, when your private life begins to shift, when you put aside the things that are not serving you. If it's going to be personal, make it personal. Don't just be great in public, be great in private.
Success doesn't always have to be loud. Sometimes it's necessary to be quiet and just move. Are you really prepared to do what you need to do to get what you want out of your life?
You gotta live. You have to breathe. You have to eat. There's purpose. Every single day, you are either losing ground or gaining ground.
You are not going to win anything until you understand what struggle means. You can never quit.
But you gotta work hard in silence. You gotta work when nobody's watching. You gotta sacrifice behind the scenes. When you take it personal, your private life changes.
Success is a process. The process comes before success. The struggle comes before the process.
Everybody wants to contribute to destiny, but nobody wants to be committed to destiny. What kind of work are you putting in behind the scenes? What can you conquer in the dark? How personal is your purpose?
This is what we call grinding in silence. Not everyone needs to understand your true motives. Not everyone needs to understand your purpose. Not everyone needs to understand your mission. But the truth is, it's about passion. It's about discipline. It's about awareness. It's about accountability. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, you got to be accountable for your actions. But are you prepared to grind it out? Are you prepared to dig a little bit deeper? Are you prepared to fight a little bit harder? Are you prepared to put in overtime?
Somewhere along the line, you lost your footing, you lost your place. It got cold, too cold for you. And see, one thing about an achiever is rain, sleet, or snow, they keep building. But you have not sacrificed, you have not suffered, you are not committed. When you are committed, you give everything you have. Every single week, every single day, every single hour, every single minute, 720 hours a month, you are beating on your craft. Even when you're at work, you're dreaming, you're thinking, you're vision casting, you're writing it down, making it plain, communicating to your destiny connections so that it can become a reality. If you can see it in your head, you can hold it in your hands. But the question I want to ask you is, are you committed?
Now it's time to grind. Now it's time to fight. Now it's time to believe. Now it's time to know that your success story has yet to be told. Don't sit back and have a pity party. Don't sit back and wait for an opportunity to happen. It is up to you to go out there and get the opportunities. You want success? Then go get it. You want to be better? Then be better. You want something more than what you have right now? Then you got to have the desire within your heart and go strong and go with everything you have.
I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know what you've been called to do, what you've been called to accomplish, what you've been destined to build, who you've been called to be connected to, but the dots will connect.
Every single moment that you have is an opportunity of a lifetime.
Are you committed or are you just contributing? The choice is yours. But this time, make it personal.
Hear my voice. Know that you do have some work to do. The work that you do will determine the outcome in the end. But do it in silence. The ones that need to be a part of your development, they will always be there. And the ones that doubted you, I'm talking about the naysayers, just simply say, shh, be quiet, because you have nothing to do with my success. You gotta give 110% and get it to a point where all you got to say is, shh. You don't have nothing to do with my success. The noise that you making can't stop my purpose. The noise that you making can't stop my fight. The noise that you making can't stop my grind. Your noise is just empty. It means nothing to my success. I didn't get it overnight. And yes, I had many sleepless nights. And I had amazing dreams of what I could become.
Can you stretch yourself? Can you condition yourself? Come on, can you believe again? Can you see it again? Can you write again? Can you make this thing personal? That it doesn't start with the people connected to you. It starts with you. It doesn't even start with your past. It starts with where you are and where you're going. Can you look ahead? Can you stretch for it? Can you condition yourself? Can you prepare yourself for the next thing? Come on, make it personal. But you gotta work hard in silence. You gotta take it personal. I make this thing personal.
So while you're sitting around second guessing yourself, my beautiful people, get back on your grind. Be productive. Keep your head up high. Stay in the moment. Live every moment. Move in silence. And from the bottom of my heart, conduct your business. You got to learn how to move in silence.
Embrace being the underdog. Embrace being the individual that they say cannot do it.
The underdog is a person that comes out on the playing field and says, okay, I've been in this place of pain my whole life. I've gone without for so long. This is the day you make up in your mind where I will take the throne.
If you are an underdog, you gotta believe against all odds. If you are an underdog, you gotta learn to close your ears to everybody. You gotta learn to close your ears to everything. You gotta learn to block out the distractions, and you gotta learn to get focused, all right?
The champion is the one that never lets the sun catch them sleeping.
This is what life is all about. Everyone on Super Bowl Sunday, they root for the underdog. Because it's something about watching the little man, the small people, the people that they say are not that talented. Watching them succeed.
You must wake up every morning and pull and dig every day for that one day to show up. And don't you stop pulling. Don't you stop digging until it shows up.
Because they said you can't do it. They said you don't have what it takes to make the investments. They said you don't have what it takes to lose the weight. They say you don't have what it takes to hang on to your marriage. Everybody has been counted out. Everybody has been doubted.
Now watch the next time you say, forget the underdog. Because that dog has more bite than that pit bull. Keep fighting. The underdog is truly the greatest.
The underdog is not a person who doesn't feel pain, doubt, and fear. The underdog is a person that turns that pain, that doubt, that fear into their fuel.
It ain't no shame in thinking about quitting. It ain't no shame. It ain't no shame in getting tired. It's no shame in feeling burnt out. It's no shame. But the trick is, don't just think about it. Say to yourself, I gotta rethink it and get this thought out of my mind. Why? Because the shame is in quitting. So if you thought about it, there ain't nothing wrong with that, boo. But whatever you do, don't let that thought become a reality, all right?
Everyone has been an underdog. Streams all the way back to Little League. When you were a toddler, people will look past you and believe that you didn't have what it takes. What do you want to do to prove them wrong? How are you going to go about that? See, there's beauty in the underdog. Because nobody sees you coming.
You see, there's a difference between a dreamer and a chaser. Dreamers keep dreaming. Chasers get to work becoming. So are you a dreamer or a chaser?
Be ready to fight. Be ready to fight for your life. Be ready to give it everything you got. Make sure what you are up against understand that you are there to do business. You are there to work hard. You are there to outwork what's against you.
9 times out of 10, the underdog always comes out with the win because the underdog was more hungry. The wolf that is on the hill is never as hungry as the wolf that is climbing the hill. The underdog is still trying to prove himself. The underdog is still trying to tell the world, I can do this.
Whatever that dream is, whatever you have, that goal, that improbable feat, once you get it set, once you smell that, once you get a feel for it, a taste of it, and the underdog is an individual who refuses to live in the dark.
I know what it's like to be an underdog. I know what it's like to be laughed at. I know what it's like to have a dream and have no one believe in you. I know what it's like to be dumped, to be written off, and to be slept on. It sucks. It hurts. It's depressing. I'm here to tell you that you need to get over it. It means nothing. It's all in your head. The 10 words that will ruin your life are what will other people think and what will other people say.
Because many of us do not admit it. But when we see the underdog win, it puts belief in us. The struggle of getting people to believe that if they put you in, you won't let them down. The struggle of making people believe that you have what it takes to get the job done. But remember, they will not see you coming as you rise, as you work every single day, tirelessly, for what you dream of. It doesn't matter who says you're not good enough. It doesn't matter if they say you're not qualified enough. The only thing that matters is that you're willing to work your behind off to change their mind frame.
Underdog is just a man or a woman who has made up their mind. They are no longer going to live in their setbacks. They are no longer going to live in your reality. Your reality of me says I'm not enough. Your reality of me says I can't do this. Your reality of me says you won't finish today. My reality says all I have is all I need. I'm not living in my setback any longer. I'm moving forward. I'm coming after everything you said I couldn't have.
Instead of the path of least resistance, I started choosing the path of most resistance to prepare myself for the journey that was coming my way. And you realize through hard work, you can outwork anybody. No matter how badass they are. It starts with yourself, man. You gotta start diving into those things that you are afraid of. You don't gain confidence by going to the spot that makes you feel good. It's gonna be a false reality. And the second life gives you that challenge, all you want to do is go back to what gave you confidence. Is that happy spot? No. What gave me confidence was spending years at a kitchen table trying to learn how to read and write on my own. Realizing I can't learn the way you learn. I can't. But I can learn. What gives you confidence, not being afraid, is overcoming the fear. That's what gives me confidence, is facing these things, overcoming them. And maybe not overcoming them every day, but facing them and facing them and facing them. Pretty soon like this, you know what, man, this is where it's at. It's not in that comfort zone. It's in the discomfort zone is where my confidence is getting built. That's where it's getting built. Happiness, peace, enlightenment, it's all up here, man. It's all up here. It's all up here. You just gotta be willing to go and face it. And that's the hard part. The physical standard is not what they need to meet. It's a mental standard you must meet in life. That's how I live my life. I now know that there is no cap on the human mind. There's no cap. We cap it ourselves. When most people quit, I had just started. And when you take that mindset and you learn to flip that around, that's what made me powerful. And my body followed.
And so I said, I want to do this. I'm going to give myself a challenge every single day until the fear goes away.
That's right.
And I feel like that's what more of us should be doing. I'm hearing that that's how you live your life.
That's all it is, man.
And it helps me feel so much more confident. When you overcome that fear of saying this doesn't have control over me anymore,
that's right.
It's like you can be at so much more peace.
A lot of us speak in hollow words. I used to speak in hollow words. I don't do it anymore. Everything that comes out of my mouth has substance. It's real. We all have these feelings in our bodies, in our minds, in our souls. I act on mine. A lot of us who are afraid of something, we allow our minds to choose the path of least resistance, so we go a different route. And I'm afraid of something, it's telling me you must do that. Life is one big mind game. And you're playing it with yourself. You cannot lose perspective of where you've come in life. I'm trying to give people a different thought process of life, where failure, hell, disappointment, discomfort is a great learning tool. And many people don't understand that, but it's these few moments in life that you have. Like for me, I always talk about it. Rocky 1, round 14. That 1 2-minute and 13-second clip of Rocky getting up when Apollo knocked him down. That one clip, when I was going through a very bad time in my life, I saw what I wanted to be. And it wasn't a guy that won. It wasn't a guy that won everything he did. It was a guy that kept getting up after being knocked down. So I realized if that 2 minutes and 13 seconds changed my life, that's all it was. I saw something that I needed to be in the world I was living in. Maybe my story will give someone the 2 minutes and 13 seconds they need to change their life. Everybody's got a story. We don't share it on social media. We share our nice life on social media. We all have a dungeon. I'm just willing to talk about mine. Mental toughness isn't something that you sample. It's something that you live in every day. Whenever hardness comes, and you don't know what it is, it may be different for you than it is for me, but you go back to your insecurities. And then when you go back to your insecurities, you then look for comfort within those insecurities. And we all look for that cookie that your mom used to give you when you were sad, when you were sick. We look for our wife or our husband. We look for comfort. It's in those moments you must retrain your mind to think differently in health. The mental standard is you must know how far you've come. I walk in a room now and I know the hours and years and decades I put into David Goggins. That's something, it's not on the wall. It's not a trophy on the wall. It's not a medal on your neck. I don't care how you perceive David Goggins, because through my journey, I figured out the one piece I was missing. I thought it was cars. I thought it was women. I thought it was money. I thought it was everything. The one piece I was missing was me having the courage to face myself. Where I got my work ethic from was the hours I had to spend learning this. When you sit down and you're not smart, and you have a disability, and you still want to be at the top of your class, I didn't want to just get by. When I realized that I can learn through hard work, and I can beat the valedictorian in school, but I got put in 10 hours more a day than he does. You know what kind of strength comes from that? When you're sitting down, that guy that valedictorian studied for an hour, and you know I caught you. I have the work ethic to catch you. That's where David Goggins got really invented.
Yeah.
Was at a kitchen table with 20 spiral notebooks that were empty, and then they were full. And when you can go through that, I still have them in my storage unit. You go through these spiral notebooks of your life, and you realize this is how I learned. This is unbelievable. It wasn't until I got real sick and my life got real quiet. I went from running 205 miles in 39 hours to I couldn't get out of bed. My life was taken from me. And that's when I realized I hadn't taken time to think about what I'd done in my life. I'd done all these things, but there was no finish line. I finished a race of life, and I wouldn't even receive my medal. I go on. I get in the car and I go. When I started figuring out life, that I was leaving so much in the tank. Once I realized, my God, man, I was this dumb, fat kid being bullied, and now I'm a 180-pound person who lost 106 pounds in less than 3 months. Learn to read, learn to do this, learn to do that. I was like, I need more. I was fueling my mind with everything. And I never took time to say, my God, you came from this hell, and you're here. I had come 8,000 miles from where I started. But if you never know that, you're still in the $7 a month place. So it's that quiet place. It's that place by yourself. It's those hours and years and decades by yourself in the grip of life. When life has you by the throat and choking you out, and you're sitting there calm because you're trying to figure it out. You're not panicking. You're not quitting. You're not throwing in the towel. You're saying there's a way around this. And when you figure it out, when life has you gripped in a vice, and you can figure that out, that's when you overcome. That's when you overcome. The journey getting there was harder than going through it.
Yeah.
You know? So that's the whole thing about life, man. It's that journey that makes you who you are.
Those of you out there, you lose it and you don't deserve to lose. You put in the work, you worked hard and you lose it. And I need you to do me a favor. This is the year to turn that around.
Yes, you were rejected the last time, but go for it again. You were overlooked the last time, but show up again. Why? Because you are not finished. It is not over. You are not done. It is not too late.
But what separates a dreamer from a doer? Let me break that down. 3 words: consistent follow through. Imagine a basketball player shooting hoops. How do you know if that shot's gonna go in? How do you know if that person is a shooter? You know how you become a shooter? You know how you knock it down? It's all in the follow through.
I know about tough times. They can make you or they can break you. Come on now, come on, bring it, come on now. Yeah. God not given us a spirit of fear. So I didn't have time to be fearful. I had to replace fearfulness with being fearless and creative and take the initiative to do something else with my life.
I am going to make it. This is my comeback story.
It takes faith to step into your purpose. It takes faith to step into your destiny. It takes faith to pull away from everything that is familiar, to step into uncharted territory, to become the person you were born to be. It takes faith.
So from the start, you must decide that you refuse to remain where you are.
Have you ever thought about inspiring somebody else? Have you ever thought about lifting somebody else? We need you to be a light in the midst of darkness. This world has gone crazy. This world needs you to rise up. This world needs your dream. This world needs you to be you.
Give as much time and energy to your dream as you do to your fears. That creates the opening for miracles to show up in your life.
I need you to acknowledge the fact, acknowledge that you lose it. Are you hearing me? Acknowledge it, own it. Own up to the fact that I'm losing, E. I'm losing financially, E. I'm losing. I'm losing in my marriage, E. I'm losing. I'm losing with my kids, E. I'm losing. Personal development, I'm losing, E. And I'm tired of losing. I need you to own up to it. I'm losing. I'm a high school dropout. I'm losing. I'm working minimum wage, I'm losing. I'm getting in trouble with the law, I'm losing. My mom ain't talking to me, and in a strained relationship, I'm losing. I'm asking you to control what you can control. You can control going to bed. You can control getting up. You can control being on time. You can control going to class. You can control showing up. You can control doing your homework. You can control your attitude. You can control being nice. You can control doing what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. It's your boy E.T. saying, you want to be a winner and you want to stop losing? Then minimize the errors and make the rest of your life the best of your life.
Even when it looks like you're losing, you're winning. Never let uncertainty or doubt be the reason why you quit.
Don't underestimate yourself. You do what you can do, and God will do what you can't do. Take the initiative. Learn something new. Throw your net on the other side. Be ambitious. Reach, ask for help, not because you're weak, but because you want to remain strong. Just make up your mind and expect things to get better for you.
You need to walk into your future whole, conditioned, ready to grab the people that believed in you before you made it to the top. Go back and get them, but first you've got to condition yourself. Come on, who am I talking to? I'm talking to that person that's tired of where they are.
You have to find a way. You must find a way to get back up. This is not the end for you. You will not quit. Do not take this life for granted. Live every moment knowing you will have no regrets. We are alive and breathing and capable of more than we could ever imagine.
See, we all have these tough moments in life. Walt Disney filed bankruptcy 7 times and he had 2 nervous breakdowns. Oh, he was bent, but he wasn't broken. No. He kept creating. Someone stole his first cartoon that had great promise. And someone stole it. Somebody on his team stole it from him. His heart was broken. But he didn't stay there, being angry and bitter and talking about it. He created Mickey Mouse. Had that person not stole his first cartoon, Mickey Mouse would not have been born. Many times when one door closes, another door opens, but we many times spend time looking at and talking about the closed door. We don't see the open door.
Giving up is easy. Succumbing to how you feel is easy. But hanging in there when you feel like you don't have anything left, now that's hard. So are you willing to make the tough decisions? Are you willing to stretch yourself? Are you willing to get up every time you fall?
If you're going to get to the top, you got to know what it feels like to be at the bottom. You got to know what it feels like to crawl through the dirt and the mud and all of the things that you don't feel comfortable in being in.
What do your eyes see? What is your vision? I need you to commit to it. Whatever just went through your mind right now, I need it to be big and I need you to commit. I need you to be big thinking. I need you to commit. I need you to make a plan and I need you to follow through. That is all success requires, is for you to rise up.
Without failures or challenges, there could be no success. Then you will get up and you will go up.
Miracles happen when you give as much energy to your dreams a dream of picking up the pieces and starting all over again. The dream of if you get knocked down in life, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. A dream that when a doctor looks at you and said you're terminal and you say no, you determine the diagnosis, God determines the prognosis. The dream that this has not come to stay, it has come to pass. Oh, when you give as much time and energy to your dream, to this new vision of yourself, I'll give you all your eyes can see.
Focus. There's greatness in you. There's so many people counting on you. You've heard this a million times, that the cemetery is full of potential. And that's true, because that person didn't do what they needed to do through the dash. We all are born and we all gonna die. Now I'm gonna ask you a question. What are you gonna do with your dash?
When you have fallen, when you have made a mistake, the worst thing you can do is criticize yourself. At the end of the day, life can be very painful. We can experience loss and worry and the insomnia of reoccurring heartbreak and hardships. It is inevitable. It is self-compassion that gives us the power to face our failures, to face our fears, to face our insecurities, to face what we don't like about ourselves and come out on top.
When you're down, find a way to get up. I've been there. I go through it like anybody else. But I have a job to do in this world, and so do you.
The real challenge of growth, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, comes when you get knocked down. How you handle it, that's where the growth takes place. Evaluate where you are. Look at it, assess yourself. Assess yourself and assess the situation. What brought you there? What role did you play? All of us are self-made, but only the successful will admit it. If you want to begin to move, you've got to clear your mind of all the unnecessary luggage and baggage that's weighing us down.
I'm telling you from personal experience, I know what my life was like when I put in 55. I know what it was like when I didn't try. I know what my life was like when I didn't care. I know what my life was like when I didn't have any dreams or any goals, like I didn't want anything. I know what my life was like. Now I'm putting in 120, baby. You put in 120. Not only does it affect your life, it affects your family's life. It affects your friend's life. It affects your community's life. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? I'm challenging you. I'm challenging you to get from where you are. I'm challenging you to stop settling. I'm challenging you. I'm challenging you. I'm challenging you to stop accepting the life that was given to you. I'm challenging you to give 120%. Are you hearing me?
Trying is not good enough. Trying is not gonna get you there. We need potential. We need application. We need dedication. We need motivation. We need discipline. We need to understand that work must be applied. And even when you don't want to do it, find a way to do it anyway.
I'm coming back, and I'll be stronger and better because of it. You have got to make a declaration that this is what you stand for.
If you are going to win the fight for your future, then you are going to have to master self-compassion. Face the conflict, embrace rather than avoid challenges. And you don't give up on yourself. Do not give up on yourself. When you find yourself criticizing yourself negatively, comparing yourself to others, try to find inspiration in their successes and strengths instead of feeling threatened.
You're standing up for your dreams. You're standing up for peace of mind. You're standing up for health. You want it, and you're going to go all out to have it.
Everybody gets knocked down. No matter how tough you think you are, you're going to fall. And when you fall, sometimes you fall real hard. But that ground is a hard surface. And I'm going to tell you something. It ain't going to move because you're laying on it. So you need to rise up, and you need to rise above it, and you need to start moving.
Sometimes you have to back up and go within and pray and meditate and recharge your batteries. Go away, clear your head, and then come back and look at it from a different vantage point. Don't operate while you're under the spell or the effect of what's going on.
Stop half doing stuff. Stop putting forth 50% effort, 60%. Look, stop. Do it right or just don't do it at all. Are you hearing me? Do it right.
There's a lot of people walking around today, they have unchecked rage, unchecked aggression, unchecked anxiety, fear, insecurity. You're going to have to care enough about yourself to face it and find a resolve.
You got to find out what's the next things you need to be doing. How are you going to push it to that level and go beyond it? How are you going to maximize your time? How much energy are you going to put into this craft?
Everything you have, everything you are, everything you're doing, like it's 78. And what I need you to do is I need you to look at yourself in the mirror and say, come on, quit, stop playing. I deserve to see what my life would look like if I gave 120%.
Stay dedicated. You got to keep on pushing forward. You got to keep on fighting the good fight. You got to put aside the excuses, because excuses won't lift you up. Excuses won't give you the power that you truly need.
You've got to be willing to go against the tide. You've got to be willing to harness your will and say, in spite of this, I'm in control here. I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm not going to let this destroy me.
When you get knocked down, how long are you gonna stay down? When you lose your job, when you lose that loved one, regardless if it's your husband, your wife, your child, whatever it is, do you have the ability to go through the hurt and the pain of that loss? Regardless of what you're going through, the best time you know that you are strong is when you're at the weakest point of your life.
I want you to see yourself in your mind's eye and say to yourself, I love myself unconditionally, and I forgive myself. If I knew better, I would have done better.
To win the war for your future, then you are going to have to master the muscle of self-compassion.
When you are so far down that hole, you looking up and you don't see no light, but yet you know there's an end to this darkness. That's when you'll find out just how strong you really are. Just keep moving forward. If you think that you're going through something so bad right now, wait until tomorrow if tomorrow comes for you. Look at the person next to you. Look at people all over the world if you ever come in contact with certain individuals. And ask yourself, are they going through a lot more than what I'm going through? Because honestly, there are always going to be people that are going through a lot more than you're going through right now.
Remember the past, but do not live in the past. Every mistake you have made up until this very moment, forgive yourself. With forgiveness comes freedom.
You're going to have people to do things to you. Things are going to happen to you. And the most important thing to do is to harness your will and let it go. And move so you can grow, so you can get on with your life. It doesn't matter about what happens to you. What matters is, what are you going to do about it?
This is a process, and you have to hurt just a little bit so you can understand what it means to be strong. So don't give up on your hopes. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on yourself. When are you going to realize that you got to get to a point and focus on the better things that are gonna get you to the next level and beyond in your life? When are you gonna realize that everybody just isn't for you? That just because you're on social media and you got 1 million likes, how many of those million people really genuinely care about you? How many of those people that you are looking to justify what you put out there are gonna really stand with you? Yes, maybe life may have a lot of moving parts. Yes, life may have some things we don't understand, but one thing about life, it is the greatest teacher of all. And we are all learning every single day of our lives. So get to a point in your life and hold on to the things that are making you better, and discard the things that are not making you better. There's no reason to celebrate misery. There's no reason to celebrate weakness. There's no reason to keep people and things to be a part of your life. So you got to keep living on, living through the hard times as well as the good times. But you can't be afraid anymore. You don't have to have a large crowd of people around you to feel appreciated. All you got to do is realize that it's up to you to make a difference in your life. It's up to you to understand that you do matter and that you got some work to do. You must come to a conclusion. You must say, this is where it is. Now for me to get better, I got to do better. But I can't do better holding on to things that is not gonna give me the ammunition that I need to carry on the good fight. See, that's the thing about it, ladies and gentlemen, we are all in the fight. We are all battling for the greatest part of our lives. We are fighting for it. We all are fighting for something. Why shouldn't we fight? Why shouldn't we be aggressive? That doesn't mean that's a bad thing. That means I want the best, and to get the best, I must fight. I must trust, I must believe, I must stand. I must never quit. But I don't have to hold on to things that is not gonna get me to that next level and beyond. I must surround myself with the right energy, with the right people, with the right resources. That is how I'm gonna get better. That is how I'm gonna get stronger. That is how it's gonna get me up and beyond where I need to go. See, I got to look beyond the clouds. I got to look beyond the stars. I have to see the universe. I have to see the best of me. So you keep on thriving. You keep on pushing. Don't give everybody your time. Your time is your most valuable asset that you possess. And if your time is not being used in a valuable way, then ladies and gentlemen, you are wasting it and you will never get it back. You have no reason to be afraid to let go. Letting go doesn't mean that it's over. See, life is all about passing through. We're learning as we go to let go of the misery. You got to stop relying on other people. You got to be accountable. You got to be disciplined. Means that you got to continue to fight and never look back. Sure, we don't have all the answers, but we must continue to thrive, to learn as much as we can. We must learn to make room to learn more, to understand that that's just what it is. And we are a part of it. We are all a part of it. So stand up, walk tall, move forward. Give it everything you got. And from the bottom of my heart, ladies and gentlemen, conduct your business. But you got to stand and know that you're gonna get through this one way or another. It's a test. This is only a test. And soon it will become a testimony. You will be able to share this information with people, your loved ones, people that you don't even know. You will be able to look at someone and say, I remember when I was in that position, but I made it through. And you will be able to encourage that individual or those people and say, listen, you are going to get through this because this too shall pass. And why are you going through this, you may ask? Why are you suffering so much, you may ask? Because that's what it's about. It's a test. You won't know until you know. You won't know your strength until you know. You won't know pain until you feel it. And how can you know something if you never experienced it in your life? How can you teach it if you've never been taught? How can you tell somebody to get up if you've never been knocked down? How can you realize pain, struggle? You've never seen it or felt it in your life. But make no mistake, we are all here to be tested. Don't feel that you're bigger than life, because life is much greater than any living human being on this planet. Not one animal, not one insect, not one plant can survive greater than life itself. Because when all things pass on, life continues on, and you're just a part of it. But what do you do with it when it's right there in front of you? You can't waste it. You can't let it fall to the wayside. You got to wake up and realize that the test is upon you. And you're gonna pass a few tests and you're gonna fail many more. But that doesn't mean that you are out of it. It doesn't mean that you are out of the fight. That means that you got to hit that reset button, study a little bit more so you can learn much more about yourself. Because that's just what it is. You'll never be that great if you don't focus on humility. If you don't realize that these things are gonna happen one day in my life. Have you ever been in a position when you lost so much, you didn't know what was gonna happen in your life? Have you been in a position where you were homeless and you didn't know how you was gonna find a way to get a roof over your head? Or what about that job that you had, that you put so much work in and they let you go and you said, why? What happened? What did I do? They just didn't want you anymore. And you still had to go through it. That's the test. But I guess you felt that that job was gonna make you. That job is all you had. That job is how you were gonna get by. That job is how you paid your bills. But you haven't truly paid the ultimate price. You haven't suffered enough. You haven't felt that struggle enough. Maybe you just wasn't humble enough because you thought you had all the answers and nothing could touch you. You'll never be that high to where you can't be tested. Your faith, your emotions, your humility will all be tested. It's time for you to recognize what this life that we all possess is all about. The test is upon you. It's upon me. It's upon the world. And you are living in it, and you are a part of it. Now do something. Go about your life. Accept those challenges. Don't look down on yourself. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Don't think because you went through something that that's all you're gonna go through. Yes, today you happy, right? You're having a good day, right? Tomorrow hasn't come yet. But if you are part of that day, expect the unexpected. But you better stay ready and not get ready. This is only a test. So carry on, my beautiful people. Live your life. Be righteous in your life. Don't say what can't be done. If it's productive, make it happen. If it's making you better, make it happen. You don't have to put people down for yourself to come up. But you do gotta hurt sometimes so you can grow. Get to the position where you realize that, hey, this is hurting me a little bit, but I can take it. This stings a little bit, but I'm gonna make it. This is not necessarily what I wanted, but it's something that I need, because I don't want to be average for the rest of my life. I need to evolve. I need to grow stronger. I need to believe that there is something within me. Whether the rest of the world doesn't see it, I got to believe it. I got to stand on it. I got to push through it. I got to fight for it. And I must make it with or without those who say they are with me. Ladies and gentlemen, take hold of your life. Stop being average. Stop being complacent. Be more. Believe in more. Know that you have something that is so unique within you. All you got to do is wake it up, because it's been sleeping for so long. It's time for you to wake it up. It's time for you to realize it's time to just get to work. Average is not going to help you. If you want to do better, then be better. If you want to achieve beyond your wildest dreams, do better. When you're at that gym and you're pushing that weight, or you're running on that treadmill, whatever that activity is, you can't just stay there. You want to change something, then you got to do better. You can't prepare for strength when all you care about is weakness. The weakness doesn't build you. The weakness reminds you that you are weak. But strength, that's not average. That's beyond average. That's when power comes in. That is where confidence grows from. Ladies and gentlemen, average is beneath you. Being unique, being special, realizing that you are the one that has to make the difference, to be different, to not be afraid anymore, to understand that there's got to be something else to your story. And being average is not it. It's time to realize, ladies and gentlemen, there's a new chapter in your life. Let's start there. Let's build it up. Let's go forward. And from the bottom of my heart, conduct your business. Listen up, people. Hear me. There must come a time when you must recognize that you can't be afraid anymore. Fear is not going to get you where you need to be in your life. You must learn to understand that you can never be afraid to let go. You must understand, ladies and gentlemen, that there will come a time that you cannot hold on to things that are not making you better. You must come to realize that if you're holding on to all of these things that are putting you down and leaving you down for the count, it's not gonna build you up. It's not gonna make you better. It's not gonna push you beyond. Stop being afraid. This season has come to an end. This is the time of a lifetime for you. You don't deserve to hold on to people or things that are not giving you the power and the strength that you need to carry on the good fight. Time is of an essence. And if you're so afraid, then you in for a world of hurt. It doesn't mean that you give up. It means that you got to move on to the next chapter in your life. It means that you got to stop being afraid. It means you got to stand tall. I got to do this. I must do this. It means you got to continue to push forward. It means that you got to continue to fight and never look back, but just look forward. Look forward to the best of you. So don't be afraid.
If you are alive, you have another opportunity to begin again. A new opportunity. Get up and get after it.
It's not about scrolling through social media and looking at people on vacations and looking at the people that are projecting the highlights of their life. It's not about that. It's about, can you do better than you did yesterday? If you're walking through or walked out of or survived the worst trauma and pain of your life, believe that this is the first day of the best days of your life. Get up! Get up! Wake up! There's always another level. And it's not about beating the man or woman that's standing in the room with you. It's about beating the man and the woman that's in the mirror. Can you do better than you did yesterday? That's all I want to ask you. Can you do better? You may be tired, you may be broken, you may be hurting, people may have betrayed you, lied on you, left you, but you refuse to give up. There are going to be days when you are not going to feel like waking up. You are not going to feel like getting out of the bed. You are tired of yourself. You are tired of looking at the face in the mirror that you see. You are tired of maybe the way that your body looks, or the money that you have, or the people that you are connected to. There are going to be days when you are going to be tired of being you. And you got two options. You can give up or get up. This is the day that everything changes. Get up! Rise and grind! Forget waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning You may have to lose sleep for a week so that you can accomplish what it is that you've been destined to accomplish. What you were born to contribute to humanity. And so I know it hurts, and I know it's expensive. Everything you need to get to this next level is inside of you. But if you don't count up the cost of what it's going to take, and if you are not willing to pay that price, you cannot have your future. Life and death is in the power of your tongue. Just get in a mirror and start speaking life over yourself. You're making progress. Just needs you to be 1% better than you were yesterday. Get up. You got a day to conquer. Rise and grind, baby. Let's go. Thank you, Lord, for giving me one more day, one more opportunity, one more meal, one more outfit on my back. Thank you for that one opportunity. If you haven't been able to get up, something inside of you has to snap. You've been insecure long enough. You've been unfit long enough. You've been unqualified long enough. You've been overlooked long enough. You've been undervalued long enough. You've been in this cave. You've been in this deep, dark prison of obscurity and uncertainty and doubt and fear. This is the day you come out of your tomb. In this very moment, you have an opportunity. Seize the opportunity. I'm talking to that person that keeps saying, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna make more money, I'm gonna learn a new skill, I'm gonna make bigger connections, I'm gonna invest in myself. And day after day, you fail. I know you don't feel up to the task. I know you've got some doubt and you've got some fear and you've got some uncertainty and you hate the image that you see in the mirror and you hate the way your money looks and your relationships look and people that you've given your all to keep walking out on you. I know you feel stuck in reverse. I know you feel like you're underpaid and undervalued and overlooked, but listen, get up! This is the day that everything changes. You've got to do what is required in order to manifest. Get up and get after it. So take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. It's a new day. Control, alt, delete. Control yourself, alter your thinking, and delete negativity. Period. What are you made of? What is your DNA? What is your mentality? What are the skill sets? Come on, start to write down the vision. Believe that this is the first day of the best days of your life. Get up and get after it. You are here by design. You are listening to this talk by design. Every day, every single day is a new beginning. And every decision you make is either bringing you to your destiny or taking you from your destiny. Now, some of you got to take everything you have on the inside and claw your way back to right standing. Sometimes you got to dig deep inside. I'm talking to that person that keeps failing the mission. Appreciate what has happened. Appreciate the people that walked out on you. Appreciate the people that hurt you. Appreciate the people that overlooked you. The people that slept on you. Appreciate it. I want you to get this mentality in your head. Every day, you pay. You pay. You may get 2 hours of sleep in 7 days so that you can accomplish what it is that you've been destined to accomplish. Everything you need to get to this next level is inside of you. There's always another level.
Seize the opportunity. And every day, every single day, gives you that new opportunity. So if you don't have a to-do list, get a to-do list. If you haven't planned the day, start planning your day the night before. If you don't have a morning routine, get a morning routine. Start your morning with prayer and meditation. If you're not tracking your progress, start tracking your progress. If you don't have accountability partners, you need to get accountability partners. If you have not identified the roadblocks, if you have not identified the kryptonite, if you have not identified the hurdles, what has hindered your forward progress, identify those things.
This is your day. Get up and get after it.
Everybody's great when they're not tired. This is when they tired, that's when the real champions come out. That's when that real dog come out.
It's where I think the real truth comes out, because I think there are a lot of people who are very talented who can make it there. There are very few people who can deal with the pressure and the stress that happens when we're there.
I feel I'm the best ever. It's not bragging or boasting. The proof is in the pudding.
In my mind, I'm always the best.
I am the greatest fighter of all time. And when I hit you with a hard right hand, you will fall.
You gotta win tomorrow. You gotta win right now. If you're passionate about what you're doing, keep going, keep believing, reach for the stars.
Everything is always impossible until someone does it. Maybe it has never been done before. That's perfectly fine with me. But I'm gonna do it.
Never say never, because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion.
Hungry dogs run fast.
And let the big dogs eat.
If you look at the greats in any walk of life, the greats do things when they don't always want to. And that's the separation.
It means you have to be more disciplined than not disciplined. I wanted to be the best I could be, period.
I was waiting for you to smile at some of the compliments. You didn't.
Smiling doesn't win you gold medals.
I'm too fast, I'm too skillful, and I'm gonna show everybody out there watching this show and the whole world, and the world will bow and admit that I am the greatest of all times when you see what I do to George Foreman.
I believe that whatever I put my mind to, and if I was willing to make sacrifices and I was dedicated, that I could achieve absolutely anything.
I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Maybe someone's don't like me because maybe I'm too good.
You win some, you lose some. But you live to fight another day.
And I've always believed like I'm the Michael Jordan of this industry. When I'm on the air, I'm the one that will make you want to hear from me. I don't care who I'm on the air with. I don't care who it is. It does not matter to me. By the time I finish speaking, I am the one that you're going to want to listen to. That's my attitude. If this requires 100% and you give me 99, I might want to fire you. Because I'm about getting the job done.
Sure.
It's about the results. And I think that, unfortunately, when we look at our generation today, not enough people preach about that. Because I think that we live in a society where people have become masters at pointing the finger at other people as to reasons why things don't get done. I think there's too much explanation that goes on. But the bottom line is you ain't getting it done. And if you're not getting it done, I need somebody that can get it done. I am of the belief that if you truly adopt that belief in your soul, then you walk to work every day not looking for excuses. You're looking for a way for the job to get done. And in most instances, you are going to be successful than not. You want to go with status quo, you're perfectly, fine with flowing along, just
safe,
to get along,
secure.
safe, secure, whatever. But when you're trying to win, you're constantly looking to get better. My philosophy is very, very simple when it comes to my family. particularly, me being a dad. If they're hungry, it's because I'm starving. I don't eat until they eat. I'm not comfortable until they're comfortable. I don't have unless they have. That's the mentality, and that's the mentality that I strictly get from my mother. And so for me, having that kind of mentality, but what comes with that? What comes with that is a certain work ethic that you have to put forth, and it's a willingness to sacrifice. Am I the most disciplined person in the world? No. Am I the most meticulous person in the world, like some people would believe? No, I'm meticulous enough, and I'm disciplined enough, but I think the key thing is that the bottom line is everything to me. And whatever the bottom line requires is what I'm going to do. If the bottom line requires an excessive level of discipline, I'm going to do it. But to me, it's whatever the moment or the situation demands. And I'm a bottom lines oriented kind of person. You don't assume that opportunities are waiting for you. Obstacles are standing at every door.
Right.
And so that challenge that you have to embrace and you have to deal with, that's hard to deal with when you have achieved. You don't work hard to play hard. You work hard to have the ability to play when you want to.
That's a good
But there's a difference. You handle your responsibilities first. And when you work hard and you have that sense of pride, it goes right out the window if you utilize your efforts in the wrong fashion. But when you do what's right, and it's based off of that effort that you put in, then you feel good about it because you took care of your responsibilities. Then you can go play. And I was not always confident. There's no doubt about that. I've always had my insecurities. What I firmly believed in was, as it pertained to me, was that I always worked hard. I was never lazy. I was always somebody that believed in hard work. Betting on yourself is believing in you. Knowing who you are, what you're worth. Having an idea about it anyway, and willing to work towards that, to validate that reality. That's betting on yourself. It's your job. And if you can't do it, you scratch, claw, and even die trying. We make excuses every day, all of us as human beings. On far more occasions than not, I have to speak on the issue of accountability as it pertains to the entire sports world. And when it comes to the issue of accountability, I get all of that from Mom. It happened with ESPN when my contract wasn't renewed back in 2008. I was sitting up there, I felt betrayed. I felt ticked off. My mother let me lick my wounds for a couple of days. And then she said, what could you have done better? You sure you didn't do anything? And I thought about all the stuff. I'm like, what is she talking about? This is just not true. This is not right. I work hard, I do this, I do that. And then I started thinking about it. Yeah, I was a pain in the ass. I did kind of complain a little bit too much. But the biggest thing that I remember doing is that I always came to the bosses with problems. I never came to them with solutions. It was always about the problem, never the solution. And I learned when I sat back and reflected on the mistakes that I had made in my career at the time, I learned that no boss wants to talk to anybody that doesn't have solutions. Instead of working around the clock trying to figure out what somebody else wants from you, good or bad, there are moments that crystallizes it for you in your mind. Pay attention and you'll see what they are. And you'll know what to do accordingly. That is what I believe makes me the best. It's my commitment to excellence for the collective whole.
I want to talk to someone out there who is thinking about quitting and giving up. Someone that is hurting and struggling. Someone that is feeling lost. This is for you. Don't give up. Please, don't give up. The hard times that you are going through are going to pass. Remember this. They are going to pass. You have overcome every single challenge that you have faced so far. Without failures or challenges, there could be no success. It is a necessary step. Stay in it. Stay focused. It's hard, but it is worth fighting for. It's worth believing. Tough times don't last. Tough people do. Your pain is your power. Your pain is your passion. You suffer so you can be much stronger tomorrow. You suffer to remind yourself that you have to go through something to get to the next level. You have to find a way. You must find a way to get back up. This is not the end for you. You will not quit. Do not take this life for granted. Live every moment knowing you will have no regrets. We are alive and breathing and capable of more than we could ever imagine. Life is not easy. We all go through hard times, but we do not need to stay in the hard times. Most of the people out here have given up. They spend all day long watching television, playing video games. There's nothing, I mean absolutely nothing wrong with just having a good time and relaxing. But if you're watching television for 8 hours a day, all day, every single day, there's something inside of you that wants more for your life. And it's time, ladies and gentlemen, to make a change. What can you do to move closer to your goals and your dreams and your passion? You, my friend, have the power to make a difference, to make an impact. It is not over for me. I am going to make it. This is my comeback story. Let's make up in our minds that before the battle, we are going to be victorious. Start accepting that things are changing. It's hard being down. And it's hard getting through this. Choose your battles. Why am I hurting? What am I doing here? How did I get to this place? I've been good. I haven't done that bad. I'm not a bad person. You don't have to be bad to experience bad things. Because sometimes bad things happen to good people. So it doesn't mean that you're out. It doesn't mean that you're done. It means you are living. It means you are growing. It means that it's necessary. Let it be. Carry on, but let it be. Keep pushing, but let it be. Because if you don't do it, no one else will. Don't be afraid. Let it hurt a little bit. Let it sting a little bit. Let it serve its purpose. Because that purpose that you are experiencing, it's necessary just for you. It's tailor-fit for you. I got to go through my problems. I got to go through my circumstances. I've been through them. I'm going through them right now. I'm speaking to you. I'm speaking to every living human being that is listening to me today. Look at my face. Look into my eyes. Hear my voice. And know that it's not over for you. Know that the pain, the hurt, and the setbacks, and the failures, all of these things must happen. Why? Because you exist. Your purpose means something. But if you're going to get to the top, you got to know what it feels like to be at the bottom. You got to know what it feels like to crawl through the dirt and the mud and all of the things that you don't feel comfortable in being in. Then you will get up and you will go up. But as you're going up, there's going to be more circumstances, more problems, more issues, things that are going to push you back. But ladies and gentlemen, you're not dead. You are breathing. You are alive. You are alive, but you're hurting. You're alive and you're breathing. You're alive and you're walking. You're alive and you're running. So while you're hurting, keep going. If you're feeling pain, keep going. If your heart is beating, keep going. If your lungs are working, keep going. But don't you dare give up. Don't you quit. You hurt, you grow, you go. And from the bottom of my heart, keep it moving and conduct your business.
The tenacity it takes to face your inadequacies and continue to try, that's where we've succeeded. What I'm good at and what we're good at together is not being right all the time. It's basically learning from your mistakes. Most successful people in the world are the people that can self-soothe. So can you avoid being triggered? If you're being triggered and you look outward and you're angry at the person that triggered you, that's weakness. You are manifesting weakness, and you have to go, ooh, that means I have an insecurity around this thing. I need to address my insecurity, and then that's going to put you in a far more powerful position to move forward. People that are successful, they can self-soothe, they can stay emotionally calm in the midst of a storm. When everybody else is panicking, they're only looking at solutions. Most people can only see, these are the 152 ways that this could go wrong. No matter how outrageous, there is a way to pull this off. Stop telling me all the things that aren't going to work. Tell me the thing that is going to work. And successful people are about that. They are good decision makers. They are hyper resilient. They don't stop at failure. They don't get in their own way from an ego perspective. They're looking nakedly at their own inadequacies. And they've got enough confidence to get people going behind them. So if you can manage your emotions, if you've got the courage to fight through that storm, if you're not easy to knock off your pedestal, and you're humble enough to know that you're almost certainly making mistakes so that you know when to correct course, that's the recipe.
The thing with excuses is sometimes they're very true, but it doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve your goal. So are you going to let it sit with you, or are you going to find a way around it? The key to me being driven is identifying what my passion is and my mission is. So if I don't have a passion and mission, then I don't have a drive. If I could wake up every single freaking day and fight for that 14-year-old girl that was me, that didn't believe in herself, that felt ugly, that was teased, that was made fun of for my looks, I will fight for that 14-year-old girl so that if I can help her to believe she can become anything she wants if she sets her mind to it and works hard, then I feel like my job is done. Every day I wake up for that 14-year-old Lisa.
You can become anything you want to become, but you're going to have to pay a heavy price to get there. So the question is, what is it that you want to do? Problem is, people are expecting something to be self-evident. They are told a lie that they're born with a purpose. You're not born with a purpose. You're going to decide that this passion, this thing that you've worked your ass off to get good at, that allows you to serve not only yourself but other people, that's now your purpose. Nothing is ever going to be self-evident. You're never going to come across something like, this is what I meant to do with the rest of my life. You are going to find something that gives you more energy than it takes. I only do and believe that which moves me towards my goals. And so everybody in Impact Theory University, if you ask them, which I do frequently, what's the epitaph I want on my tombstone? It's you're having a biological experience. I really want people to understand, like, you can learn about the brain and it will reveal things to you about yourself that'll be unbelievable. If you're trying to get in a relationship, if you haven't read books about the difference between men and women, you're in real trouble. The world will be very confusing to you if you think that men and women are the same. So understanding the biology of this stuff, that was one of the big turning points in my life that finally allowed me to believe in a growth mindset. Was I just started researching the brain. And it was like, oh, there's a saying called brain plasticity. Your brain actually changes no matter how old you are. Your brain changes. And I was like, okay, well, if that's true, then if I put time and energy into something, my brain will change, I'll get better at it, and that will improve my skills. And then another obsession of mine is to get people to understand skills have utility. You don't read a book to get an A on the test. You don't read a book to check something off a list. You read a book to learn something that lets you do something in the real world that other people can't do. And so Elon Musk has a great quote, "You're paid in direct proportion to the difficulty of the problems you solve." So you're learning something so you can solve problems, hard problems, that other people can't solve. And so once you understand, oh, this is mechanical. My brain is designed a certain way. There's a certain path that I have to walk to gain skills. And then skills let me do something other people can't do. And by doing things other people can't do, I'm able to serve myself and the group. That's fulfillment. Fulfillment's the point. It is so mechanistic. It's all just deadly simple. And when I'm giving honest answers, I'm always looping around, this is how the human mind works. And every time I say something controversial, it's always about biology. Like, if you want to fight it, fight it. You're going to die tired, and I will propel myself forward because I'm not judging what is true. I don't deal with the world the way that I wish it were. I deal with the world the way that it is.
The thing with excuses is sometimes they're very true, but it doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve your goal. So are you going to let it sit with you, or are you going to find a way around it? So let's say a lot of people's reasoning, which was ours originally when we wanted to make movies, is we don't have enough money. So we're just going to go and do this thing until we have enough money. We don't have enough time. And the truth is, if you play the no BS, what would it actually take? And you say, I don't have enough money. Then you keep going down and go, well, how much money do I need? Okay, what would it take for me to get that money? And sometimes people don't want to look at the answers. So maybe it takes you having to sell your house, move in with your in-laws, and rent one of their bedrooms for the next 3 years in order to save your money so that you can go and start a company. Well, some people don't want to do that. Okay, well, at least now you have your answer and you're not sitting there using the excuse that you don't have enough money. You just looked at it and like, oh, for me to get there, I need to live with my in-laws for 3 years. I don't want to do that. And now you've just decided. And now you're not beating yourself up over, oh my God, I can't believe I'm not there yet. Or like with us with Quest, we didn't leave ourselves any room for excuses, because we just went down that list of, are we giving this over? Are we doing this? Are we actually showing up? And if the answer is no, then how can you expect to reach your goal? So once we sit there and go, what is our goal? To build a studio as big as Disney. All right, before you even get started, we sit there and go, what? Like, no BS. Don't try and say like the things that we want it to be true. But actually, what is true, what would need to be true in order for us to build a studio as big as Disney? And so we sat there and we said, okay, it's going to take us to put our own capital in. It's going to take us to work hard. What does work hard look like? Is it a certain amount of hours? Is it a certain amount of achievements where you put things into place and you make sure you're always incrementally working towards that? Is it that maybe you have to, so this is exactly what we did with Quest. It was, oh, we have to put the house on the line. And that was like the no BS, that's what it's gonna take for us to go all in and build Quest Nutrition. And so once we sat there and said, okay, it's gonna take us to put our house on the line, it's gonna take me at the time to be the supportive wife to come in and help you out. It's gonna take no vacations. It's gonna mean you're gonna need to take 1/3 of your pay cut. Like, we literally sat down and wrote a laundry list of what it's gonna take to start Quest Nutrition. And once we had that list, we just looked at each other and we're like, all right, are we willing to do it? And when the answer is yes, now you just know what you're heading towards. You know the type of path that you're about to approach. And so there's no surprises. There's no all of a sudden him coming home and going, yeah, babe, so the business isn't doing well, and so, oh my God, I'm so sorry, but we lose our house, right? There's no surprise. We've established what we're gonna do in order to go for that goal. And in that comes the sacrifices. What are you willing to sacrifice? What are the things that you're okay with putting aside for now? And a lot of that was my self-esteem, my ego of like, I didn't know what I was doing. So every day I'm struggling, I'm trying to figure something out, and I keep failing. But I knew that I had to learn in order to get to the goal that we wanted to get to. So I knew every day I had to get back up. And then the same with him, with the skill sets. What skill sets do I have to learn in order to get to the goal that we want to get to? And that comes with a lot of freaking sacrifices.
I'm no longer gonna value myself for being good, smart, right, worthy. I'm gonna value myself entirely for figuring out what I need to get good at to achieve my goals, and then I'm just gonna do that. And I'm gonna do it knowing that success cannot be guaranteed.